And this is a short video on hook kick. Slightly more advanced kick. My recommendation is that you have definitely learned how to do a side kick and a back kick before you go on to a hook kick. We tend to teach this one more towards a higher colour belt level because it is a slightly more difficult kick. But I'm going to show you a few different versions of it from a more introduction level to a more advanced level. There is also a video on the spinning hook kick. So today I'm not going to show you the full details of a spinning hook kick. There's a separate video on spin kicks. But I'm going to just cover it very briefly to show you a more advanced version of it, which is called a step over spinning hook kick. So we're really going to a much more higher black belt level with that one. I brought a chair in just to show you a little introduction exercise to get you started on hook kick. I think this is great. We can't always do these in a lesson because obviously we don't tend to have lots of chairs hanging around that we can use. But certainly if you have this at home, as we're doing these videos at home, this is quite a good piece of apparatus to use. So basic chair, I'm going to pop it in position, make sure I've got plenty of room behind me. And this kick now is going to be in that side kick position. So we obviously need to bring that hip up. Just to double check on doing this, by the way, obviously with any side kick, back kick or hook kick, the three sort of side positioned kicks that we do, we need to make sure that we kick one way, but the standing foot, the foot that we're balancing on, points in the opposite direction. Okay, that knowledge with any technique we do from the side, the spinning, any of the spin side positions as well, spinning back kick, spinning hook kick, any of those, we need to make sure that the standing foot points in the opposite direction. That's probably the most fundamentally important thing to any of those kicks. Here's a little exercise that we're going to do, holding onto the chair. Holding on with both hands, making sure the standing foot is going to be facing away from the target that we're kicking. What we're going to do from here is just simply start with a slightly bent leg as if we're about to make a side kick. Okay, that's probably the most useful tip I can give you for doing a hook kick. And from that position there, what we're going to do is we're going to circle it. We're going to bring the knee towards us slightly, then round to the outside, and then it's going to come through the centre of the target. And we're going to just make sure, if we can, if I just show you from here, we're going to try to make sure as we come round that the knee passes that centre target. What a lot of students do, and it is harder when you're holding onto the chair, so don't worry about going too far with it, is a lot of students end up doing a hook kick like that. Now that action, that flick is important, that's the hook, but it's also in the hip as well. So not only do we need to get that flick of the heel, but also we need to get that knee through as well. So what I want to try and show you is a little exercise to help you with that. So I'm going to give you two little things to try at home as an introduction to the hook kick. Here's the first one. From that position there, we're going to hold onto the chair. Some people prefer both hands. I prefer one hand down. Okay, it takes a bit more balance to try and bring that shoulder in. So from here, here's our first one that we're going to do. We're going to basically just bring the leg back and get the flip. Don't worry about the knee coming through for the moment. Just focus on this exercise here. At the same time, you've got balance. Okay, so just focus on bringing the leg up and hooking through. I've got a wooden floor, so I'm sliding a little bit here. So from here, hook through. So I'm just circling slightly, and then it's going to open up here, and as I come through, I'm going to flick. Okay, so that's the first part of the hook kick, is that flick action. So try that at home. We're going to bring it up, just try to flick. You can see my knee, for the moment, is facing the target. There. Okay, round, flick, and finish there. Alright, try that at home, just a little introduction step. Try 5 on the left, 5 on the right, and see if you can just get a little bit of that circular action going and a little bit of the flick. Okay, I'm going to show you another little warm-up exercise which will now help you get your hip through the target. So following on now from the introduction exercise, the first little sort of tip to get you started on the hook kick, which is basically getting that flick of the heel. The second one now is the second part of the kick, which is actually now the movement of the hip through the kick. Again, I'm going to show you a little exercise you can try at home using the chair. What I'm going to do from here is I'm just going to get you to focus in your side kick position of bringing the hip forward and back. So we're going to bring it towards us, You can even hold onto your heel, and that might help you get your kick through the target a bit more. See, I know I'm not hitting with the knee, but we're just using it to show you how the kick is going through. And it's a little stretch you can try at home that will help you pull the hip back into that proper finished sort of hook kick position. So what I find a lot of people do is they end up with their knee on the kick finishing here, but I want you now to stretch it. Hold your ankle and pull it across and see if you can stretch it. Keep the foot where it is and see if you can pull that knee back so you get a really big stretch down the quadricep here. So what we do from here, if I just show you now from the side here. So again, holding on, I prefer one hand. You may prefer, just for a bit of balance and a bit of security, hold on with both. You may find it's a windowsill, you know, you might be, or a tabletop you might be working with. So again, from here, foot turned, I'm kicking foot one way, we're doing the kick the opposite way. You can see now the knee will come through the target. A lot of people, their flexibility finishes here. I want to see pushing the hips forward, see if you can stretch that knee back past the target, okay? Try that little exercise at home. That will help improve the hook kick. I see too many hook kicks finishing too early. You lose a huge amount of power if that hip doesn't come through the target. Now let's have a look at a basic hook kick without the chair. So here's a way to do your practice introduction level hook kick. What we're going to do from here is I'm going to get you to go into what is already the sort of partly the finishing position. So that would obviously be the foot turn, the shoulder down. As we do the kick here, we are leaning back. There's that side kick position, but obviously now what we've done is this hook action where we started with a bent leg, and as it comes through the target, we're straightening the leg up, and for a little bit of sort of power through the technique, but also, as I said before, to get that leg in the right position to execute a turning kick, we've obviously got to get that knee through as well. So what we're going to do from here is, if you go into your sort of basic back kick position, I'll show you from here, actually might be a bit easier. So our basic back kick position from there, if we now practice the hook kick from there, okay, so remember we've got to circle it, we've got to really focus on the power in the hip, and we've got to aim, most importantly, to get that knee through the target here. So remember, it's starting slightly bent, because what we really want to focus on for the moment is getting the knee, the power in the knee. As the foot comes round, the leg will straighten, straight on impact, hitting with the heel, back of the heel, and then coming through the target to gain the extra bit of power. Now sure, if you hit somebody, of course it's going to finish here, but we're going to gain that extra bit of power through the target to possibly put a second kick on as well, and also to gain the power as well. So from guard position, when you're at home, don't hold on to any chair here, focusing on getting the hip and the foot through, and again from here, kicking through, okay? So when you have a go at that kick, start a bit lower. Make sure you do left and right. But most importantly, today is all about teaching you the techniques behind this kick. I want you to focus on getting the knee through. Focus on, have a look, see if you can almost hold the kick at the end. Good for balance. If you can hold the kick at the end and see where your knee is, has it passed the target? Okay, is it on the target? It's okay, but see if you can get that knee past the target. If you're finishing right over here before the target reaches, and the only impact that's hitting is that, you're going to lose a lot of the power. So get your flick as you come through the target, but also see if you can get that hip past the target. That is the most important thing to a hook kick.